And hello, CPs.
It's about time, bitch.
My name is Miss Tiffany Morgan.
Roving away. It's Troy.
What's going on here?
Just a whole lot of celebrity.
Pause for applause. Why, hello, sweet peas, and welcome to What's the Maple Tea? And again, Rowena has left me alone at the helm, and I've gone crazy. And I've invited a new friend who is first time here on What's the Maple Tea. Welcome, Chris. Hello.
Thank you.
Chris, if you could, for our listening and viewing audience out there, if you could tell why, just because of that smile, let alone, that's why I invited you onto the Maple Tea. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Chris, obviously, and I'm the chair of the Greater Napanee Pride Board. And we're organizing this weekend for our second annual Pride March and Market.
Pride March and Market, that's right. So Greater Napanee Pride. Greater Napanee, just outside of Kingston, like 20 minutes drive. Beautiful, lovely community. And last year was their first Pride, and oh my gosh, it was insane. Chris, it was insane.
It was way bigger than what we had expected, for sure.
It may have gotten slightly out of hand, but especially invited me over for for the shows and stuff like that. Oh my gosh! So, can you tell us a little bit like how Pride kind of got started in Greater Napanee then?
So pre-COVID, I guess, is when we kind of started to get things rolling here. So for 2 years, my husband and I went to town council and requested that they fly the Pride flag in Napanee during Pride Month to recognize that it was Pride Month. And the first year that we went, they said, well, in order to do that, you need to make a proclamation and the whole 9 yards. We had no idea there was a whole process behind it. That's kind of our bad. We should have probably looked into it a little more. But then the second year we went and they said, okay, but unfortunately the flagpole is broken this year. So you won't be able to fly it. Although we can recognize Napanee as recognizing June as Pride Month, we won't be able to fly a flag because our flagpole is broken. And so COVID hit, and it was kind of a little bit of a back burner issue. We still went out, but we met with the mayor, and we did actually get a flag flying, even though there was nobody about town to see it because everybody was locked up. We were still glad to actually have had the flag flying in Napanee for the first time, and we actually were able to also paint a Pride crosswalk. We were allowed to put a white crosswalk and color in the squares in between in Pride colors. So this year we were really happy to be able to actually repaint that crosswalk and put a full Pride flag right across the entire thing in true vibrant colors, and it looks amazing. So it's been a journey.
You got me thinking about that because I'm sure there's some photos in your Instagrams here, because that's like a full-on, that's like an insane painted crosswalk. Okay, here I'll bring that up. But so the first year you painted it because with the legal crosswalk, they have to have those white barriers sort of thing, right?
Exactly. And there was a little bit of pushback with having something that could be confused for anything other than a crosswalk or something that could confuse drivers or anything like that. So we went with more of a traditional kind of crosswalk look. But we saw some other similar ideas to this on the internet, and we have two stretches, and I don't know if you can see that there, but that crosswalk goes across our entire market square. So there's actually another street over that the rainbow continues on. So there's two intersections that have a crosswalk. Like if you zoom in, you can kind of see.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I see over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're pretty impressed, and it's really nice because if you look at that spot from across the road, there's the Pride crosswalk and then our town hall in the background. So it's really nice to see that you drive through town and that's what you see.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, that's really and just to have the pride like the progress flag too, right? Unobstructed with the white line sort of thing. I know
Exactly.
and people are like, we want, the unobstructed, but we're like, but it has to be a legal like
So we found out actually through the through connections that the only thing that was mandatory for crosswalks in our town and in our county were the two white lines. So as long as we stayed within those two white lines, we were able to basically, do the full pride flag or the full progressive flag in all its glory without having to
Oh,
have.
that is great.
Yeah.
That is great. Oh, goodness sakes. And just right outside town hall too, which is always like so supportive.
Yeah.
I do remember. So last year, it was a whirlwind. Let me tell you, Chris. It was. I think you were like all over the place too last
Yes.
year. But last year, I remember people pointing out to me. They're like, "There's the picnic table. There's the picnic table," and I'm like, I didn't understand the significance around it. And then
Oh,
when I
so
go to your
sorry. I should back up. So that the year that we were allowed to not fly the flag because the flagpole was broken, they did
Yeah.
allow us to paint a picnic table in every park as a
In
pride
every
picnic
park?
table. Yes. So we were in one park, and so that the picnic table that you saw was the one that was delegated to that park.
Every park in Greater
Napanee.
Napanee
Yeah.
has a pride table.
Yeah. At least one pride table.
Oh, because sometimes people pick them up and move them. No, I'm teasing.
And we painted a couple, like in a couple of spots, there were a couple painted. So yeah.
I had no okay, but I was just gonna say that people were pointing it out. There's the pride picnic table. There's the pride, and I just didn't know the significance of it, and
Yeah.
the fact that the community in Greater Napanee got together and painted not just one.
Well,
I thought it was just one picnic table. It was
no. It would have probably, I would say altogether it was 10 to 12 picnic tables that were painted. Yeah.
wow. And
Yeah.
do you guys do the upkeep every year sort of thing?
So because they're so fresh still, we haven't, but that's the intention is that as these things need to be repainted, that we will. So we did a fundraiser and raised all the money for the paint, and then did a shout out on our Facebook asking for people to come and help us paint them or volunteer for their family to paint the one in their park if they wanted to. So that's how that came to be. So it's a really nice story that it was actually members of the community that wanted them there, not necessarily members of our community, but just the community at large that came and volunteered to paint a pride table. And usually it's because they have someone, a family member in the community or, they want to support in some way, but it's just nice that it was people coming forward and not us just going out and painting ones that we thought.
Oh my gosh. See that to me is more a lot more meaningful, really, right?
It is. It really is. And so that's the other thing I find about small town pride is that it is definitely very community oriented, but obviously in a small town like Napanee, there are not a lot of the gays. So you know what I mean? You kind of have to rely on your allies and people from other communities to support you and lift you up and help you get these things done, right? It doesn't just happen.
Yeah. Yeah, gosh. Yeah. And you seem to have quite the supportive community, I would say, because I remember last, going to the fair and stuff last year, the parade, it was quite the first parade, the first Pride in Greater Napanee was insane. Can you tell us a little bit? Do you have the stats? You know, the community stats, like how big? We call
So
I
we
call it a small
estimated
town, but
this year we've got counters, so we're going to get more of an actual, legit number. But last year we were expecting maybe to 100 and 150 people, and I think we probably had closer to 500. So for a small town like Napanee, it doesn't sound like a big crowd, and I believe our night show had.
Just 500, Chris. Just 500.
See, it's a rough guesstimate, right? You don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh, we had thousands of people, because then if we don't do that well this year, then you know what I mean. No, but you know what I mean. Like, that was safe numbers. We were looking at a small turnout, and we had a huge turnout. It was beyond anything anybody expected. So, and then we still, like, all throughout the year, on our Facebook, people referenced it. They said, it's so nice to see this type of initiative happening in Napanee, or I never thought I would see this type of initiative happening in Napanee. Like, this is the reason I moved away. Maybe I'll come back and join next year. You know what I mean? So it's really nice to hear things like that, because growing up in Napanee, I know that it was tough sledding, like, because I lived it myself. So to have to have, lived a generation or two earlier and had to have moved away just to kind of be who you want to be, it would be really nice to see that finally there's kind of a light and you can come back and spend maybe more time in your hometown because it's a little bit more accepting.
Well, yeah, and that's why I wanted to go support it, because it's that it kind of has that small town feeling, Napanee. Even though it's it's a fairly large community. How big is the community, like, people wise?
Somebody's going to correct me, I'm sure, but I believe it's 16 or 17,000.
Okay. That's that's a good chunk, but still, that's a pretty small, like, compared to, like, Kingston or Toronto or something like that.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, someone's driving up the driveway, aren't they? Oh, look, we got some comments here. It's our fearless leader from the Greater Napanee Pride Facebook page. Someone's gone off the off script. So we've been talking a lot about last year, and kudos again for it last year, but this year, because this Pride Month is literally just days away here, and you guys in southeastern Ontario, I think, are having Pride the first weekend. Can you give us a little, high level? What are we expecting? What are we expecting this weekend?
So we're expecting, I think, a few more vendors than we had last year, even though we had a pretty big turnout. We have face painters and stuff for the kids, and a whole kids area that we didn't have last year. We have a shuttle bus carrying people to and from the SPC on the half hour, so that people can park their cars, get down to Pride, and not have to worry about parking and all of that good stuff. And then when they're done, they can hop the bus and head back. The bus is also handicap accessible. So if it's an accessibility issue, again, we can pick you up at the SPC, where there's plenty of parking and plenty of handicap parking, and take you down to the fair and then bring you back when you're ready.
Yeah, the Strathcona Paper Center, which we've done a lot of drag shows, it has a massive parking lot. So just being able to shuttle people from the Strathcona Paper Center down to the beautiful, like, park, because it's down at the park with the big old gazebo right by the river, right? Oh, all right. I believe it's there. I think someone did come to the door. But hello, hotties. Hello, hotties. Yes, thank you so much. So I'm just talking to Chris, who had to step away just briefly. But we're talking about Greater Napanee Pride, which is happening this weekend, June 3rd. June 3rd. So there's a shuttle bus, which is really handy. And if you get caught, not on the shuttle bus, the cabs are. I found it quite amusing taking a cab in Napanee last year, because they're like, give me $5. There's no meter or anything.
They were probably just taken off guard. I can't imagine.
Well, I was in full drag, yeah.
They were like, "Where do you want to go?"
Pretty they're like, "Oh, from here to here? $5, that'll be good." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." But because it is limited parking, down at the park, and this is, what is the park called again?
Conservation Park,
Conservation, and this is right by the water, right? The river?
right by the river, and it's right next to Rotary Park, which incidentally is where the kids stuff will be going on.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yes.
we have, and then in between, I believe, is where they're going to have pony rides and the bouncy castle that's going to be set up by the local fire department, and the local fire
Oh.
department here has been super supportive. And
Oh.
yeah, it's just amazing. So we have the fire department doing the bouncy castle, and party ponies doing pony rides down in the park, which will be right next to the pavilion, where I believe also we're having face painting and somebody making balloons, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about the balloons, but I think we have a couple of things like that going on as well for kids.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, I think I remember seeing something that there was some balloon art or something like that. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to your events page right now. Actually, let me throw that into the chat for those who are with us live right now. Oh, what was that? We've got balloon animals, live ponies, and balloon animals, and inflatable bouncy cat. This is really quite the day for the kids. This sounds like a really good day for the kids. So bring your grandchildren down, bring your kids down, bring your neighbors' kids down. For the adults, though, are there going to be like entertainment at the park as well, or? Oh, you're muted. Chris? Chris, you're muted. Oh. All right. So, we are having some technical problems. And hopefully he sees my chat there. We're going to get him to talk about it all over again. Are you there now, Chris?
I'm there.
Yes, you are. Okay.
I am here. So we have Honeybell Jewelry and Crafts, Color Street, which is an artist, I believe. Trellis HIV and Community Care is going to have a booth there. Sugar and Spice, which I believe is little treats and goodies. Modern Crystallization, which is another artisan that's coming to show off their wares. Beautiful stuff. My Husband Hates My Art, another art display, a local artist. We have a Follow Your Heart Weddings, which I assume is an LGBTQ plus friendly wedding venue and wedding planner. Body care, hair care, kind of something for everybody, really.
That's great. And this is going to be on Saturday, June the 3rd, starting at what time?
The parade is going to be at 11 o'clock. We have a few dignitaries coming to speak between 10:30 and 11. I believe 2 of our MPPs are coming. Shelby Cramp and Rick Brise. We've invited the mayor to come and speak. And then the Pride Parade kicks off at 11 o'clock, and we start the route, and we walk the same. I don't know if you walked the route with us last year, but we walked.
I jumped in halfway through.
So we start down in the park, and then we walk along the boardwalk in Napanee, and anybody in Napanee knows what the boardwalk is. It kind of runs along the river. And then we're going to be walking up onto Highway 2. We're going to ask people to kind of stay on the sidewalk until we get to the next intersection, just because of it being a main artery in town. We can't block that off. And then once we get past that first intersection, the OPP is going to provide a rolling roadblock for us, so that as we go through, they're going to stop traffic for us so that we can walk down through the main street of town and then back down Center Street to Pearl Street, which is where the park is. So we'll basically loop over top of where we started out on the path and come back down into the park.
All right, so this is kind of going all back to kind of grassroots pride marches where it's actually like on foot sort of
It's
situation.
all on foot. Yeah, I think we're still a little. It would be lovely to have a parade, but at this point, it's a couple of years off. We don't have the people or the manpower to kind of pull off the kind of things you need to close the roads and stuff for a parade. But eventually, we hope to get there.
Well, just having the support of the local police services and stuff like that is always always a good thing too. So
Well, the town and the county have been really good about road closures and making sure that accessibility is a factor. And they've really been supportive in getting the flag up this year. Our town hall actually moved locations this year, and so they're in a brand new building. And they made sure the flags got up this week, the flag poles got up this week just in time for our flag raising ceremony on Friday evening. So that was nice as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because someone commented, they're like, lovely flag. And did you post some photos on your Instagram of the flag raising already?
We could have. I'm sorry, I'm not in charge of the
Oh, okay. I'm like, did I miss a photo? I'm like, gosh darn it. I hope I didn't miss a photo. But yeah, go to check out their Instagram because all their announcements are going on right now on Instagram, and I'm just going to throw that into the chat here. So Greater Napanee Pride, and Napanee's Napanee. And then, Greater Napanee Pride, that sort of situation. Now, so this is all during the day. Parade at 11 o'clock. What time does the park start? It starts at.
So I believe that we're scheduled from 11 to 11:30 with the march, and that's probably being super generous because, as I said, it's not a long route, but it's down through the main downtown. And then when people get back to the park, basically that's when the vendors will be ready to go, and the face painters will be there and all of that stuff. So basically, as soon as the march is over, that's when the festivities begin.
Yeah, and also the little pony rides, inflatable, and oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I would go for the face
Firefighters
painting.
with the bouncy castle, take that as you will.
Woo! Bouncy castle, firefighters. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to be a very long day. And if the participants out there have tucked their children into bed at, I don't know, let's say 5 o'clock, what other events are going on?
Well, in the afternoon, before we even get to the evening, we have at 1:30 in the afternoon, we have Lucas Silveria, sorry. He's the lead singer of the Clicks. So he's coming to perform in the afternoon at 1:30 in the pavilion. And we then have open stage. So we have local talent coming to perform of all different kinds, singing and stuff like that. I believe there's some
I think our own I think our own universe is going to be going to that.
Yeah. So then getting back to what you were asking about, once the kiddies all go off to bed, we do have our Pride in the Country drag show, which is 19 plus. Before that, we have our all ages Pride in the Country. I don't want to forget that.
Yeah. Don't forget it because it's very important because it stars
at 5:30. It stars you. I know. Sorry, Tiffany. So yeah, you said after adults go to bed, so you just got.
Sorry, I said children. Didn't I say children?
Oh, I thought you said sorry after children. You're right.
After the adults go to bed. Well, then that's Greater Napanee Pride After Dark.
Yes,
and that's a private invitation only.
So at 5:30, we have Pride in the Country for All Ages, which is starring Tiffany Morgan, our own lovely Tiffany Morgan. And who you have? Is it Sunny Rays? Who else is there with you?
Well, there might be a slight change in cast. Sunny is unfortunately unable to attend now. We just heard the news today, so sorry, Sunny. But definitely Sherry Ann Hex will be joining me as well for the all ages country. What is it called again? Pride in the Country.
Pride in the Country, all ages. So then you're coming over to Pride in the Country evening time too, aren't you?
You know, hey, they
Just to
got me
hang out?
there. I might as well stick around. You know?
That's what I figure. You know what I mean? So Pride in the Country, it's the doors open for that at 8 o'clock, and it's open until 1 a.m. And we have a great lineup of people. We have our own Octavia. And you're gonna have to take the lead on this, who the other queens are, because I am not familiar. I know that actually I know one of them is one of my really good friends' brother, but I have never actually met him, and I don't even think he knows that we're good friends. It's really weird. She just said I was explaining Pride in the Country, and she's like, I believe that my sibling is in that performance, and I said, really? I did not know.
Which may be Milligan. Is it Milligan?
Her name is Megan, but I'm sure that her last name is her married name, so it's not going to help us at all in this situation.
No, that's not going to help us. That's not going to. But I'm thinking the drag artist you were thinking about is Milligan, who is a great, amazing Instagram kind of portrait photos and stuff. And actually, a lot of us queens in the local area are like, we want to see you perform, or we want to see how you do.
So that is
we're going to be seeing. Yeah,
that is exactly who it is. Yeah, that sounds like a similar story. So I'm excited because I have a connection, and I'm excited. I'm going to be like, your sister just loves you, because she just was. When I mentioned the show, she was talking it up to everybody else at work. So hopefully we have a big turnout from the JMPC, because they have over 200 staff. So there's no reason why they can't all come out.
Awesome. Yeah, Milligan, I'm really looking forward to meeting Milligan. There will also be Rowena Way, Rowena Wade herself, and you mentioned Octavia, Napanese own Latin diva there. And then there will also be Aurora Matrix as well, who some people, as soon as you hear the name, they're like, oh yeah. And then, of course, Kiki Ko from Call Me Mother, contestant on Call Me Mother. I can't remember if she won or not, but you know, she's been in all the she's even been contestant on like Canada, like CBC's like chef shows and stuff like that. Some people don't know she knows how to cook. She knows how to cook. And she makes amazing outfits and costumes. She did make Isis Couture's step down ceremony dress.
Multi-talented. It's not always the way, though.
I know.
People are usually very multifaceted.
You know, yeah. You give a drag queen a glue gun and she'll make a dress, you know?
Exactly.
You give her some Eve 6000, epoxies. What is it? What is not Eve 6000? Whatever that epoxy stuff for stoning is. Someone in the chat will tell me. Oh, yes. Tiff is multi-talented too, as Al has pointed out. Thank you, Al. But it's going to be, so you can get tickets for the all ages, the meet and greet, and then the adult show. You can just get tickets for the entire time if you want to, or you can just get tickets to the evening show. But then there's also a DJ afterwards as well. And I'm challenged DJ Roxy Sunset. That's right. So that's why it's going all the way from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's going to be an amazing night. We'll see how late I can stay.
I think you can do it.
I think you can do it. Just one more drink.
That's usually what does it.
You know, I will tip my hat though to you, Chris, because you've scheduled everything in one day. for those of us who really have only enough energy for one day. Thank you. Thank you.
Like, it's not taking up your whole weekend. I think that's also what people liked about it last year, was that it was one day. They went down, they had their fun, and they went home. You know what I mean? Whereas if you have to get up, if it starts on Friday night and ends on Sunday, there's 2 really rough mornings in there that a lot of people have a hard time getting through.
I remember my Sunday, or was it Saturday? I can't remember.
I think
Oh,
it
the
was.
show. Yeah, the show was the Friday night, and then there was the Saturday, and I did drag story time because there's drag story time too. I keep
Oh no, that
forgetting
was
that.
you did Saturday night, and then that was Sunday. So
Oh, that was Sunday.
Yes. Yes, because
All
you
I
dragged
know is,
yourself out to the farm too before you went
yeah,
home.
yeah. By the time I was at your place at the farm, and you're like, "Do you want to pet a goat? Do you want to pet a dog? Do you want to pet a goose? Do you want to pet a cow? Do you want to pet a chicken?"
You were like, no, I don't even want to look at you. I want to go home.
Well, I could barely see you. My contacts had dried out at that point. you, you know how it is after, I was like, oh, blink, 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 trying to get the eye juices to start working again. And I was like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on, but okay, there's chickens.
My kid still asks when the fairy princess is coming back to the farm. I'm like,
Maybe we need to stop over before we go out to the Strathcona Paper Center. I don't know. But it was really an enjoyable time. Yes, your daughter. Oh my gosh.
she
And
kills me.
I was like, I hope I look okay.
Oh, it was her dream come true. She keeps saying fairy princess.
Mm. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so adorable. I was a fairy princess to some small child. I am a fairy princess. Yes, there we go.
We can
So
assimilate.
I think you have a few major sponsors, and you have that corporate, well, not corporate hat. I don't want. Sorry, take that back. It's not a corporate hat, but you have the hat of responsibility.
Yeah.
So why don't we give a shout out to some of your big sponsors, because
Oh
without
God, yeah. No, we
them,
have.
you know,
Um, I guess you could say TD is one of our big sponsors. I guess you could say corporate, because they are very corporate, but they gave us a very large donation this year, and we are very appreciative. They've been very supportive of us from the start. We also have, and I hate starting to throw out names of sponsors because I don't have a list of all of them in front of me, but
oh,
some of the
oh,
major,
okay.
yeah, no, but some of the major ones are like Gray's IDA of Napanee and Napanee Pro Power Sports. They were both very, very gracious donors. We had a bunch of people that donated for our sidewalk. Exit Realty had a few agents that donated. Charlotte Lewis, I know, was one of them. We had Excavating Finn, which is a local contractor, donated a good chunk of money to get this one of the colors on the sidewalk. I know I'm forgetting people.
Yeah. So you asked local people and businesses to donate to buy the different colors of the flag, to paint the flag, which was like an amazing idea.
Yeah. So obviously, with the COVID thing, it's really tough for local businesses to donate right at the gate. This is kind of the first normal kind of year that we've had outside of COVID. So a lot of people are really recuperating. So to see the type of support that we got from the community is just incredible. And a lot of them are small businesses, and they're not only small businesses, but they're small businesses in small towns. And that makes a big difference. Like, it's one thing to be a small business in a city like Kingston or Belleville, but then to be a small business in Napanee, not only competing with those two bigger cities and their options, but then, you know what I mean? So it's really nice that they take their hard-earned dollars and donate it to our cause, because we are trying to make a difference, and with their help, we will.
Yeah. Awesome. Just looking at at some of the to buy the tickets on Eventbrite and stuff like that. So I see McDougall, I see Caffrey Realty, Napanee Power,
Best
BMO
of
as
Power Sports.
well. Comfort Inn and Suites. Oh, and I see something awful familiar. Real Out Queer Film Festival from Kingston.
Yes, Real Out. We also have a local community member that donates. I'm not sure if she would like her name mentioned on the air, but she's a very good donor. She's also a member of the community. And her partner donated this year, and they also helped fund the paint for the side or for the crosswalk.
Oh,
So they were,
individuals too.
yeah. So we also had the catering company is always very supportive of everything that we do. They donate linens, they donate decorations if we need. Also, I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I see people. I just literally was like, "Well, let's talk about Pride," and and Chris is like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I didn't give much details. What were we going to talk about? What were we going to talk about? So, but needless to say, any Pride organization, and I can attest because I was on the Kingston Pride committee board. Every now and again I say committee, but it was the board for a few years, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of volunteers, Pride volunteers, hitting that pavement, going door to door, being like, "Hey, we're hoping for." Some participation here from local businesses and stuff, and it's great to see that here because you have the entire community basically kind of participating, and you said local MPs or MPPs.
Yeah,
Also
MPPs. So we have for the before the march starts in the morning, we have local MP Rick Brise and local MP Shelby Cramp coming to say a few words about what Pride means to them and their constituents. So it should be interesting. It should be a good morning. Like I said, there's something for everybody. We have two represent. I believe we also have the mayor coming down. I haven't had that confirmed totally yet, but we have asked him to speak as well at the beginning of the march. But he is also speaking at our flag raising ceremony. So we don't want to tie up this entire weekend because that's on Friday night. And then this is on Saturday.
Oh, I misunderstood the flag raising. So that's not. I thought it was last Friday. It's this coming Friday. It's on June 10th, 2nd.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So it's happening this Friday. Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We have a comment here. Hi, sexy. I'm thinking it's directed to you.
I would say that it's probably directed at you because I don't know who that is.
But yeah, it's going to be an amazing weekend. And what we're talking about Greater Napanee Pride, which is happening this weekend. June 3rd is the main big day, but if you're there June 2nd, the Friday for the flag raising, June 3rd from 11 onwards until the next day at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's Pride Day. Which is going to be so fantabulous. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Rowena is doing some drag story time in there somewhere, probably at the pavilion in the park.
There's a drag queen story time happening in conjunction with the library. And I believe that's happening at the pavilion in the morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was more in the afternoon, but maybe that was. But anyway, follow Rowena.
Yeah, follow Rowena. She knows what she's doing for sure. Yeah, I'm looking at the itinerary, and it doesn't. The one that I have doesn't mention the Pride. Oh, drag story time. You are correct. Is before Louis Silveria.
Oh, it's before Lucas.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So before Lucas, at 12:30, and it's sponsored or organized by Lennox and Addington County Libraries.
Which is always great. Always great. I did drag story time there recently, in the last couple of months, and it's always very welcoming, the community of Greater Napanee. So thank you so much for drag story time. And Chris, thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Yes. People are listening. They're like, drag story time at 12:30 featuring Catherine Hernandez. And we got some people talking about some other, Perth Pride and doing special Indigenous blessing. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. There's something about, small town prides, right? That I find exciting. I'm like, it feels more, it kind of reminds me of kind of
An
going to
old
see
school
your,
affair is how I see it. Like, I don't know. And it's during the day, so it's more I don't know, it makes me feel comfortable because it's like during the day. So you don't feel like, not that anybody's hiding anything at night, but it's like out in broad daylight is a big thing for us, I think, right? You know what I mean? To be out and doing our thing in broad daylight in the middle of the park. I think there's just something to be said for that. It's a cathartic feeling, you know what I mean? To be able to finally, be in the light of day in its small town and see so much love and support. I don't know. It's a good feeling anyway.
I think it's really cute too, because it definitely, you definitely have an element of family, really, right? So a lot of the queer families or families who have queer kids, or that suddenly they're kind of all coming out to this, right?
That's exactly it. And like I said, people have said to me that they're coming back to visit their families for Pride weekend because they can't believe something like this is actually going on now. And so that's a good feeling too, right?
Yeah, it's just building community. It's
Yeah.
not just building, the queer community. It's
It's
building
building
the
community and
greater
building
nation.
that bridge between the two, right?
Yeah.
Because the more people know about our community, the less there is to be scared of. And I think that's kind of the part of the gap, right?
Chris, you got me thinking about a very tough question because I remember being asked this question, marching in the Kingston Pride Parade, and the news reporter asked me, maybe this might have been like, let's say 5 years ago. Let's just say 5 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. They're like, do we even need pride anymore? When equal marriage is there and all that kind of stuff. I think in the last year we can see why, but
I
I
was
I,
just
I want to get your response.
I was just gonna say probably we need it now more than ever. Like if you look to I just want to take the state of Florida, and although I know it's a whole country away, the state of Florida is a very, very scary place right now. And if we head anywhere in that direction, it's going to be very scary for our community. So any show of support or any pride parade that's allowed to go on in a small town like this should be celebrated, because we really are going through a really transitional time right now. And so our
Yeah.
voices really need to be loud and be heard and stand up for our brothers and sisters who are fighting against, um, you know, misinformation and unfactual information. You know what I mean? And there are people out there that are really struggling because of the agenda that's being, spoken about right now. So
Yeah.
I think more than ever, we need to show that even as a gay community, we support the segments of our community, like our drag performers and um, our LGBT youth and our trans youth. Like everybody needs to band together and show their love for one another, because it's about dividing and conquering. So whenever they're able to divide a community and separate us, that's when they're able to kind of get in. So if we stick together and we just, support and love each other, I think we're going to make it. But we definitely do need pride. And I think the struggle is still real and the fight is still real.
Exactly. And I think I'm gonna let that puppy kind of end this. It sounds like it needs to go outside. Chris, do you have any final comments, or do you want to
No, I
say
just wanted to
anything?
thank you for having us on tonight, having me on tonight, and for coming and supporting Napanese Pride 2 years in a row, and for your wonderful performances and the things that you do every day to further the cause.
Well, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day because you have an entire farm and small children to deal with. So thank you so much for joining us here today. So this is Chris, our the chair of Greater Napanee Pride. It is chair of Greater Napanee Pride,
Yes.
right? Yes, okay. I'm not. Sometimes if I don't write it down, I sometimes get a little confused. But thank you so much again, Chris, for joining us today. If you want to find out some more information about Greater Napanee Pride, go to greaternapaneepride.com. So that's Greater, and then Napanee's NAPANEE pride.com. And they have links to their Instagrams and their Facebook account too, because they're on. I'm still on the Facebooks. We're all still on the Facebooks, but they're on the Instagram there too. And if you want to find some more information about the drag shows, specifically mentioned for Greater Napanee Pride, we do have the listings as well on dragshow.ca. That's dragshow.ca. And again, my name is Miss Tiffany Morgan. Rowena Way could not be with us right now. She's gone to the Great Republic of Alberta, because she's going to shake things up over there. But we'll probably see her in a couple of weeks from now. But my name is Miss Tiffany Morgan. Find me at tiffany.com, TYFFANIE.com. And sweet peas again, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.